Matter of fact, Danger's my middle name. D-A-N-J... Well, guess you're all just gonna be looking at me a little bit different now. Hi there, I'm Ted Raimi, and you are watching the episode King of Assassins. All these actors you see here, incidentally, they're all Kiwis, they're New Zealanders. They sort of talk like this, mate, no? You say, oh, good on you, mate. There you go. It's a good day for shooting, eh? So they sometimes have a little bit of difficulty sounding like Americans.
He's heading towards Perseverance. He's taking the road through the mountains. He's camping by the lake. He wears red leather armor.
The episode was directed by Bruce Campbell, and Bruce did a phenomenal job on this one. I think it's his best episode. And there's a scene with him and I right here. Bruce is Autolycus, of course, and I'm playing, for those of you who, if you don't want to be spoiled, turn the audio commentary off now. You have 2 seconds to do it. Okay, too late. Now I'm gonna spoil it for you. That's me there, playing my twin brother, Jet, the evil Jet. And that's Bruce actually directing himself. He had a double that would help him out to do some of the work. That's, of course, not him. He's not that agile.
What? Tartarus! Hey, that's my sword!
But Bruce demands a lot when he is directing.
What was that all about?
He doesn't screw around. He insists that you come very prepared, and rightly so. He's an actor, and he knows what it takes, so he's not asking you to do anything that he wouldn't do. I'm just not sure yet what he does do. Renee was very gentle on my ear that time, although sometimes she would really give me a hard yank. The method acting school of ear yanks. Sometimes she's a little methody. Notice Bruce Campbell has a little rouge.
Excuse me?
See that right there? He's got a little rouge on his face. He was asked not to by the makeup department, but Bruce felt it looked best with the dress that he had at home. So he decided to wear it.
Lunatic brother from assassinating someone we don't even know for no gain whatsoever.
These dumb gags you see throughout the episode where Bruce and I are laughing, doing things together in unison, stuff that he and I had been doing together for years and years when we were just not being paid. So when they asked us, do you want to be paid to do the dumb crap you do anyway during the day when you have nothing else better to do with your time, we said, yeah.
There's a concept called personal space. Look into it.
It's basically the relationship between Mo and Shemp, and I'm being Shemp at the moment. This was rehearsed very well. It looks like it comes off the fly, but Bruce and I spent a good amount of time rehearsing this particular gag. It took up maybe 3 or 4 takes, and then we shot it.
We're gonna get that guard, knock him out, drag him into the woods, take his uniform, and sneak into the castle.
Jockster's typical babbling moronness, you know. Basically, the point of this episode was to annoy Autolycus as much and as often as possible.
You ready? Yeah, now grab. Guard!
Oh, lady. Oh, lady.
Can you believe that?
Now, that was scripted, and this guy, I love this guy.
You followed her behind? No, I didn't. I cannot believe it. You did that.
And that slapping gag was my addition as an homage to Curly. The hair yanking, that's a Mo homage. There's really a lot of Stooges ones in this one.
Pretty well.
Yeah, I like to think so.
You notice that Bruce Campbell has a lot of chest hair. He has to actually glue that on there before each time he shoots because he, you know, has to look a little tougher, I think, than he really is. All good guys have grappling hooks. This is all interior stuff that looks exterior, but it's an interior, actually. All of this is. It's all studio. It's done in the old-fashioned kind of studio way. So I think what people liked about the show, too, is that it really looked like a classic movie set. It's really, really elaborate set design and lighting for a TV show. Most TV shows of this nature wouldn't get such treatment, but Xena really did. That is Gina Torres there, who also went on to do a bunch of pictures after this one. I can't remember which ones, but she's been in a bunch of movies. She's done very well for herself. And that's right, she's in Cleopatra 2525. She's great in that one.
Cover her.
Very, very good actor. Great presence. She really has a great presence.
By birth and by the will of the people. I intend to buy the best army Greece has to offer.
Sword, right.
March into Egypt
the sword.
and take back what is mine.
Yes. Now that sword was a special one made for this episode. I think it sold at some Xena convention for like, man, like $2,000 or something like that. Some insane amount of money. It's weird. All the props on Xena were a mix of, you know, plasticines and genuine metals. So you never really knew what was gonna break and what might break your hand off. So you always had to be careful with stuff like knives and swords and shields and all that kind of stuff. An average shooting day on Xena would be about, we'd start in the mornings. The crew would get there probably 5 a.m. The actors would arrive around 6 or 7. Wardrobe and makeup for everybody would be like, you know, for me it would be like 45 minutes, and for the girls probably an hour and a half. And then the day would start shooting. We'd shoot for about 4 or 5 hours, eat lunch. After that, we'd work for about 3 hours and then have AT, mate. It's AT. That's the letter A and T. That's afternoon tea, that stands for. And at afternoon tea, just like in, you know, parts of England still, they would have a break where everyone would sip tea, eat little sandwiches, and kind of chat outside and, you know, talk about the rest of the day. Mostly talk about, oh yeah, matey, we've got 2 more hours before we rip, mate. You know, stuff like that. So
Wait, we can tell them we're circus performers and we were just rehearsing an act.
Where does it hurt?
Right there.
I thought Renee was very good in this episode too. She was so straight. She played such a great straight woman. Renee's good. She can do, like Lucy, good on the goofy side and good on the straight side, but in this particular episode, she was 100% the straight girl because she had 2 of the goofiest actors around her in their most goofy form. So I think she decided to go the other route, and because of that, all the comedy works very well. And that's really a testament to her.
Look, I'm sorry, Gabrielle. This is for your own protection. My brother's a killer, and I don't want you in the way when I stop him.
Doctor!
And the mix-ups with Jet here, now I'm Jet, and the Jockster mix-ups are great. They're you know, obviously Shakespearean in origin originally, but they're wonderfully done here.
What a loser.
And that's Bruce's idea coming through the hole there. This is my my Frankenstein moment. I remind myself of Frankenstein. But it kind of works pretty good, I think.
I barely made it in before they locked the doors.
Nothing is set in stone. Flexibility.
This is something Renee was always very good at, too. These scenes by herself, when she had monologues to do, she'd do them very well. I always liked to watch her do stuff because it was like going to a really good play and watching an actor do a monologue on stage. It's a good gag, too. She's very good at that sort of stuff. It's a scene where Autolycus gets funky with Cleo.
During negotiations, unless it distracts.
Because you can't have a Xena scene without scantily clad chicks. Of course, Sheena Torres is attractive, and you know, if you look around, you'll see some gratuitous female bodies in there. I'll point them out to you. Don't worry, it won't be difficult for me, I promise you.
How will I know what you have to offer?
This was a new set, I think, built for this particular episode, this bath. I don't think it had been around before. The designers put it in there, I think. In New Zealand, in the prop department, they had a warehouse that they kept the props in, and this thing was as big as, it was almost as big as a football field. It was even bigger, I think. It was massive. It was 1-story, enormously length of a warehouse, that big. And it had rows, about a quarter of it, for maybe, I don't know, 25 yards in every direction was nothing but weapons. And then another 25 yards was nothing but building materials. Another one was nothing but suits of armor. And another one was things like urns and cups and pots and tiki torches and things like that you see so often on the show.
I didn't want to resort to violence, but lives are at stake.
It's Renee O'Connor knocking somebody out, very unusual in the Xena universe. She does it all the time. She's very kind. She doesn't kill them. She just gives them mild brain damage. This is where I see myself. This was a very confusing scene to shoot. They had some of it is me and some of it's a body double. But this, of course, is both me. two ends of a split screen, the oldest gag in the book.
Kind of like looking in the mirror. Hey, brother. Been a long time.
This was shot on the same day. Some of this was actually shot over 2 days. It was one half of everything after lunch, and then the next day was everything before lunch. So it was like an entire day to shoot this one scene. A lot of this was improv. You know, we had to figure it all out beforehand, though. You can't just do it at the moment, like we often like to on Xena. So everything had to be very well thought out, but we rehearsed it. It's one of the few scenes that we rehearsed, and so once we had it all down, we then went and blocked it very carefully. And once it was blocked, you're stuck with it. You know, that's the end, because once the effects guys get it, you can't go back and change anything.
Hey, nice clothes. Thanks.
Copycat. Hey, is Jace here too?
Don't mention our brother's name in public.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
What's that? What?
Older brothers torturing younger brothers. Anyone who has any older siblings can relate. Bruce, I think, had fun directing this scene too, mostly because he wasn't in it, and he could just focus on being a director for once in that episode. So it was nice for him. I remember he was very chill at this moment.
You do.
Of course, that chills him out too.
Consider our relationship consummated.
Pleasure doing business with you, Cleo. Why, thank you.
I like Bruce's sort of quasi-Robin Hood-y sort of Sherwood Forest deal he's got on. I think it's pretty cool.
I could find you
All sort of dashing guys in Hollywood wore that, so it's kind of a throwback to that, which I thought was really cool. This is where the ultimate wedgie shot comes in, which I thought was one of the funniest parts of the whole script, that Jet had stuck Joxer up there and gave him the worst wedgie in history. Poor guy must be 9/10 of the way up his butt by now.
It's me, Joxer!
How can I be sure?
I'm hanging from the wall by my underwear.
I was strung up there by a cable. I'm wearing a harness, which it's basically the same kind of harness that stuntmen wear when they swing from ropes and swing off a building. So I'm hanging up actually by a harness, wire.
Yeah, he looks like the guy I came here with.
Here's Bruce yanking me in by my underwear, which I thought was very funny.
Ha, ha, ha. Yes, it was you and I all along. They were just dupes in my plan. Now, nothing can stop us.
Actually, this is me playing myself, playing another version of myself. Was very surreal, but kind of a lot of fun. Have a weird mind trip. This is one of my favorite scenes too here because Bruce imitates Lucy and Renee here. Listen.
I've been watching Xena. This is what Xena would do.
Okay, so I'm not as good as Xena, but my plan would have worked.
It's very important to make fun of the stars of any show as often as possible because, well, just because you can. I'm always for the, you know, if you can torment somebody, by all means do so, and do it often.
Oh, I hate when I'm out bluffed.
This last final battle scene took a long time to shoot. It was very complicated, a lot of stunts, and we had to get all done in 3/4 of a day. So, which is a lot for an action scene, which usually takes, in movies, anywhere from 2 to 3 days to shoot something like this, but we did it in about 7 hours. It was pretty incredible.
Cleopatra?
What?
Be nice.
And this I had a lot of fun with because it's the first time we actually have a fight with, a legitimate fight with Xena, which I think was pretty good, pretty fun to do. But Jet holds his own just for a little bit. This is actually me and Lucy having this fight. We rehearsed it, and it took a while. It wasn't very good, so it took a lot of takes because naturally what she found to be second nature and, you know, was sort of finishing a cup of tea as she came up. It took me 4 days to learn. It was very hard for me, but she was patient, so it turned out pretty good.
We have company.
Anytime Lucy comes on a set, she usually often learns the blocking right then and there. So this, for example, what you see here, she began to learn the blocking for this about 15 minutes before this was actually shot. So her memory is that good, and her body-mind memory is that good. It took me nearly 4 days of about an hour a day. Renee O'Connor in a usual good form. She's great. Great martial artist. A good martial fake artist, anyway.
At least you'll die. Nobody hurts my brother. Except me.
Cue the sappy music. It's a very sweet moment, actually. It turned out nicely. Could have been an awful moment, but it turned out very nice. Thanks to the writing and the direction.
So I don't understand why the assassin can't be executed here.
Sadly, execution isn't recognized here in Miramis. He'll be imprisoned for life.
Are you ever planning on coming to Egypt, Xena? If you do, send word. I'll plan a reception the world won't soon forget.
I also like Gina Torres because her diction is excellent. She really has some of the best diction of anybody who's ever been on the show. Can understand every word so very well.
Well, was that my invitation to Egypt?
That was a thank you. My real kisses are a bit more intense.
And jocks are hoping to get a smooch, finding the hideous auto at the other end of the smooching list. And then Mr. Tough Guy comes down the stairs. This was an interesting scene for me because it was sort of the one straight one I got to play with myself.
Sorry, Jen. No hard feelings. Hey, I hear they're sending me to prison in Miramis. Give me a chance to catch up with Dad.
Well, guess you're all just gonna be looking at me a little bit different now.
Nope.
I think not.
Same old, same old.
And falling, that's something that you actually, it's a trick you learn to do pretty good on the show after a while. If I fall like 50 times an episode. There's no mattress there, I just fell on my ass. Well, that's the end of King of Assassins from the collection of Xena, Season 3. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun making that episode, and I hope you had a good time watching it, too. This is Ted Raimi, and see you later.